Hi everybody, I'm Marcus Lemonis, and we're going to spend a minute in this next video talking about the maintenance of your RV. The things that are important to make sure that your asset is protected and your family's asset is also protected. One of the biggest problems that we have in the RV industry is how to maintain and manage what's happening on the roof. Now, a lot of us don't think about it, but as you think about the maintenance of it, from the heat, from the cold, from just wear and tear, there's a certain amount of maintenance required and a certain amount of inspection required. Now, I'm scared of heights, so for me to be up here is a big deal. You may feel the exact same way, but in order to understand how to protect the inside, you have to start with the roof. Now, there's regularly scheduled maintenance that you can do. You want to get up there and you want to check your air conditioning, but ultimately, you want to make sure that you're preserving the integrity of the structure. So we're going to talk to a few people today. They're going to tell us how to actually check for roof leaks, what's the right kind of maintenance. So I was giving the team a little bit of an update on how important the roof is.
Yes.
I'm scared of heights. I don't know about you, but I don't love to go up there. But why do people need to at least have a professional check their roof out?
Well, it's at least once a year you want to have the roof inspected to make sure you don't have any cracks in the sealant, your air conditioning gasket is set properly, it's not collapsed, so you don't get water leaks actually inside the camper, because that is the thing that damages the campers the most.
How does it damage the camper?
And into the unit itself will delaminate walls.
But how does it get in?
Through the cracks in the vinyl, or in the caulking, if the caulk is not.
So what is the material that's on the roof? Is it rubber?
It's a rubber membrane on most units. And then to seal the rubber membrane, and they use self-leveling caulk.
Okay, and then ultimately, if water gets in, does it seep down into the unit itself?
Correct.
Where does it go, into the walls?
Into the walls.
And what happens?
It'll delaminate the walls, cause mold issues, and just basically ruin the entire unit.
How is it different than having a leak in the roof of my house or my apartment? If water comes into my house, it's
going to be the same issue. The problem is you're much more confined space, and in
an RV
than you would be in your home, and you'd see leaks more evident in your home than in here, because it goes into the walls. Unless you see water stains or something like that, you're not ever going to know it's there.
Okay. And will you start to smell it? How will I know?
If it's bad enough, you're going to start smelling the mold right away.
Okay.
But if not, it could be going, if that isn't evident, you could have water in there and never even know that it's there.
How many customers do you see that have never even been on the roof or checked it out?
Quite a few.
Why is that?
For one, heights.
They're scared of heights.
They don't like to get up there.
Yeah.
A lot of our clientele is older.
Yeah.
And that's another reason they just aren't comfortable with climbing up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's safe, but it's still scary.
Exactly.
Like, I was scared going up there.
Yeah.
And so what do you advocate that they do? Do you put it into a routine maintenance program?
Yeah, every time they come in, we ask them last time they, of course, have had their roof inspected. We also do a complimentary roof inspection during our 19-point check-in. And from there, the advisors actually get up on the roof and they inspect it.
And you're advocating that whether they're doing that with us or another dealer.
Correct.
You're just saying to all customers, whether you do it with me or somebody else, you got to get your roof checked.
Exactly.
Okay. It's like is it almost like getting an annual physical?
Yeah, or like going to the dentist, getting your teeth checked out. I mean, it's maintenance on the unit that is big requirement as far as keeping it in good condition.
Do I need to put a new roof on every year?
No. Not at all.
Do I need to put a new coat of sealant every year?
It depends on how you're storing the unit and the elements that the unit's been under, whether it's out in the sun all the time or if you cover it in the winter, how long that caulking is going to last. So that's why we recommend it once every year to inspect it at minimum, and then usually in a 3 or 4 year period, then you're about time to have it scraped off and resealed.
What does it cost on an annual basis to just check it, do a little maintenance to it? How much should I be budgeting for that?
To just check it doesn't cost anything. We do that at no charge.
Okay.
And then depending on what
most dealers do it at no charge? Probably?
I would think so.
Okay.
I would think so. I know all the Camping Worlds, of course, do. And then depending on what kind of sealants you're going to need to have done, you can range anywhere from a couple $100 per year up to, if you haven't had it done in a few years, it'll get up into the $2,500 range to reseal the whole roof.
So a couple $100 a year I should budget just to make sure that I'm checking out the most important part of my unit.
Yes.
And then if I needed to replace my entire roof, assuming that I didn't do any maintenance, I didn't do any records, I let it sit out in the sun, I didn't get an RV cover, all the bad things happened to it, how much could I expect to have to spend?
That will range on the length of the unit, but anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So spending a couple $100s a year actually is almost like buying insurance.
Exactly.
Does the roof, I mean, is there any other maintenance that would happen along the side? Does it protect the value? If I do the roof maintenance, does it protect the value of my unit?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely, because of course it's the whole integrity of the camper itself. If the roof isn't maintained, you completely lose all the integrity of the unit.
What does that mean?
If once you start getting water leaks into the walls and delamination, then you're talking replacing sidewalls, and then you're.
So essentially, the roof protects even the walls?
Correct.
How do I think about that?
Because if you're getting cracks into the sealant and water is coming into the side walls, it's going to cause this to delaminate, and the walls will actually start separating.
Okay, literally.
Yeah.
So how many layers are here? A few layers in the walls?
Well, you're going to have your outside layer of your Phylon, and then underneath that is going to be all your insulation, your studs, and then of course your inside panels.
And so if water gets inside of there,
it starts separating. Yeah.
Wow. Any other recommendations for roof maintenance?
For roof maintenance, we do recommend at least once a year to clean the roof at minimum.
How do I do that?
Basically soap and water, yeah,
okay.
And then put an RV protectant on the roof for UV rays for the sunlight. Helps also maintain.
So don't just put like the same thing I clean my kitchen floor with?
No.
What does it have to have inside of it?
It's an actual UV protectant. I don't know the name brand of it,
okay.
But it protects it from sunlight beating down on the roof membrane and extends its life.
Almost like putting sunscreen on your body.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't get your roof checked, you're going to spend a lot of money.
This is true.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.